share your screen too and
Cool.
put it on.
Yeah, I will in a second.
Should be live.
Cool. Hello and welcome, people, if we are in fact live. Let's get some teams up, shall we?
What's news, JD? I haven't really spoken to you for a while.
It's been way too long. I've been busy with work and family stuff the last couple of weeks. So actually good to be home at a reasonable time and have the opportunity to jump on and chat and say hi and do some Q&A. What have you been up to?
Yeah, pretty busy. Bit of work, bit of last minute uni. I'm pretty much finished up in a few weeks, which is good. So happy. Supercoach on the other hand, not going too well.
No, we don't talk about that anymore. Do you want to add my screen to the call and we can go through these teams, because I think we got the first of them up. So for tonight's game, for those who haven't seen it, Robert's in for Fox and Scott in for Cleary. Who the subs are will be interesting in that one, but I don't think it's going to be anyone relevant. I mean, maybe like a Gallagher or a Fraser, but it's probably Daniel or Scott looking at that bench. I guess there's a chance Roberts is for the Swans, but I don't think so. It's probably it could be. It could be. Yeah, it could be though. All right, then we've got this Freo Collingwood game. So Darcy in as reported this week, and Wagner. Eno, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's isn't he on the bubble? Has he only played one game? Let's have a quick look. If I can get my super coach up here as well. But
he was one last year. No.
He. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong person. So it's Wagner, not Warner.
You're thinking of,
okay. Yep. Oh, that's right. Wagner just butchered it all last year. So Voss admitted, which is sad. Frederick injured. I think Wagner is the sub from just looking at that bench. And then on the Pies side, we've got Dean in. He isn't on the bubble, right? McCreary, Myercheck, Ed Allen, who'll be interesting. He's one that I pegged during draft season as being potentially interesting. And Will Parker, who's the cricketer, right? That's joined as a rookie B.
I think so.
Category B rookie.
Dean is on the bubble, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Markov's out for personal reasons, not injury. So you'd imagine he's back next week, and then Dean's probably the obvious out for him. So probably can't look at that one. And then, McRae, DeGoey, Will Hoskin, Elliott, and Reef out, which I think means, obviously Sullivan gets another week. Richards gets another week. But I think his job security is probably decent at the moment, I would have thought.
Yeah.
Looking at this bench, I mean, I think Will Parker is probably the sub from that group.
Yeah. Finn's out. Yeah, okay. Well, that sucks.
It does. I mean,
and I changes.
It's a little bit of a worry for Sullivan as well, because there's not too many other mids to bump when he comes back at the moment. Although I guess they've got Ed Allen who's come in, so he can come back out.
Yeah.
All right. Got Jackson Archer coming in for Bergman. So Archer does play in the back line, doesn't he? But he's not a rebounding halfback. So I suggest that means that Sheasel is playing halfback this week alongside Fisher. And then Sweet in, which is a big relief, Rosie and Jones. I have heard that Vicentini is the travelling sub, so I don't know if there's any doubt about Sweet getting up. But, sorry, the travelling emergency, not the travelling sub. Yeah. And then Jones. And then Dixon outmanaged and Sin injured. So I don't think there's too much going on there. I mean, obviously Sweet and Rosie's back really interesting, but probably no surprises on either side there. And it doesn't look like the subs will be relevant.
No, just more money out of Sweet, thank God, before he
Yep. Yeah, I mean, he's already contributed to the downfall of my season, so he should at least return a bit of money for me now, right? Okay. Carlton, Sard in, Cowan in, Fogarty in, Durden, Pittner, and Marchbank out. I don't see anything too relevant from that mix.
No.
And then on the Gold Coast side, it's Walter, Witt, Holman, and Rogers in, and you got Fiorini, Moyle, Davies, and Day out. So once again, nothing too relevant going on either of those sides. I mean, I think a few people have Rogers, right? So maybe that helps a handful.
Yeah, get some more money out of him. He loves a lot of changes, Dimmo, doesn't he?
He does love his changes. Yes, he's one of the few that feels like not afraid to pull some levers, especially after a big win. Now, I think the interesting thing here is I was wondering whether or not Graham would be back this week? Because it kind of sounded like he'd been rested for a couple of weeks and they held him out even though the VFL wasn't playing, but hasn't made a return this week and isn't even in the emergency. So maybe one for us to talk about. If you're a Graham owner such as myself, what do you actually do?
Yeah. Oh, might have lost JD there. Yeah, Graham, I don't know. I think it looks hard for him to get back in the side now. I think I've traded him this week. Might have to get my thing up. Hold on. Bear with me. Share that. Yeah, Graham, I think we can probably trade him now. Guys, it looks like he's probably on the out, especially like Davies and Fiorini is out of the team as well, so he's probably behind them, which sucks. So, yeah, I think I've got him traded out this week. So, yeah, you don't have to trade him out, but it's probably looking like he's not going to get back in. So, yeah, we'll see if JD's back.
So,
something going on with his stuff. Hold on, I'll just message JD. Yo.
Can you hear me all right?
I can hear, yeah, your cameras and stuff though, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's very strange. Something's happened in the settings where it's tried to link it back to OB, so I've got no idea what's going on. But anyway.
Yep.
All right. So sorry, yeah, just no Graham. So what do we do with him? I think it's pretty interesting because he's one that I could trade out this week. But he obviously has a pretty good break even and he scored well for us, but that's frustrating.
Yeah, I think I sort of said just then it kind of seems hard for him to get back in, especially with like Fiorini omitted.
Yeah,
Davies played all right, didn't he, last week? So it's like, yeah, he's probably a bit away of getting back in.
I'd say so. Even though I feel like he didn't do too much wrong. Like he wasn't the best accumulator or anything, but like I don't feel like he's doing that much wrong. So yeah, that's a tricky one. I was hoping he'd play for us during the buys. This GWS Cats game. So Hawkins, SDK, Cameron, Duncan, all pretty big ins this week for the Cats. Parfitt, Rowan, Guthrie, and O'Connor out. So Guthrie injured again, obviously not great. Looking at that bench, poor old Jai Clark looks like he's going to be the sub, does he not?
Yeah.
But like, there's no way it's Jack or Atkins, right? So yeah, that's rough. All the money he made with that one good score has gone straight back out.
He's going to sit there for the year, I think.
I think so. And then on the GWS side, Aaliyah, McMullen, Angwin, and Peatling in for Buckley, Ware, Stone, and Darcy Jones. Darcy Jones being out. Obviously a sad one for anyone that jumped on him and should be traded out. I think Peatling was the one that was a little bit interesting because people were keen on him potentially as a midfield option with some of the outs that GWS have had, but they haven't stuck with him. So I get the feeling he's going to be the sub based on the benches, but it could be.
There's a few in, so it could be any of them.
It could be. They've just used Peatling pretty heavily in that sub role. So
yeah.
All right, Richmond. Finally, Liam Baker back from the 2-week corky. Oh, yes, let's cook. Seth Campbell returns and Ryan is in for Young, Mansell, and Coulthard. Kane McAuliffe holds for Canaanites such as myself. Enno, I guess the question here is, and I didn't get to watch the Tigers last week, but I've heard that Kane actually looked pretty good. So some people are considering trading him in at 150k over like a Fraser or a Richards. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think he actually holds? What's his job security kind of like after what you saw last week?
I'll be honest. I didn't watch much of the game.
Oh, Tigers are going that well, huh?
No, it was Saturday night. I was out, but it wasn't the TV where I was, and I'll be honest, I wasn't too attentive. But I heard he went all right. Looking at the stats. Look, I don't know. I probably wouldn't touch it. There's some blokes to come back still, right? Like I haven't checked the injury report this week, but Hopper can't be too far away easy, and then I guess Timmy's still probably a month or so off. I don't know. I think he can score all right. Whether or not he stays in the team and plays a decent role is another question. I probably just wouldn't touch it.
Yeah, fair enough.
If you got him, good. If you don't, I probably wouldn't go there. Yeah.
And then on the Bombers side, so Ridley's finally back, as well as Caddy and Cox. I think interesting that Reid still hasn't made a return after getting through a couple of weeks in the twos. Laverty holding him out there. And then Sardis, Shield, and Jones omitted. Well, Jones suspension, but then the other two omitted, which is, really interesting. Really interesting how that's kind of played out. Just looking at the interchange for Essendon there, like feels like Hobbs or potentially Hind might be the subs. It could be Cox technically, but maybe even Alan Davey. I doubt it's Guelphy. On the Tiger side, who do you kind of see as being the likely sub out of that bench?
I guess
There's
maybe
a fair few in there that could be, right?
That is a tough one to guess. Could be Cumberland, could be Steely Green. I really don't know. I guess Kane, Samson, and Seth should probably play. So I don't know. Look at our 22 these days, man. What the fuck?
Oh, this is legit VFL quality going on right now.
Like we're already bad to begin with, and then we got half the list out. I think someone's got like 26 to pick from. Just crazy. Anything with Ridley back in finally with Nick Martin, or you don't think?
It will be interesting to see how they adjust. So I think it's interesting that both like Ridley and Cox are in as well, because we've now got a fair few players that have been playing wing all on the same side. So Kelly, Heppel, Cox have all been playing wing. Martin can obviously push up there a little bit. So I'm really curious as to see how they actually work it.
Hind's got to be the sub, surely, with that.
Yeah, possibly.
Another player. So was Cox as well. Well, far out.
Yeah, so
there's a lot of those types.
Yeah, there's a lot of. Well, Hind hasn't been like that much of a winger. Probably more anyway. But so we'll just see. We'll see. This I think it's pretty interesting. I would have originally at the start of the year had Ridley being in helping Martin more than anything else, because it's the other player that might like to chip short to his type or be the person that comes out of defense to hit Martin in the middle of the field. So we'll just see how they work it. I don't think it's going to be as bad for Martin as people are worried it will be. All right, Hawks Lions. So we're into the Sunday games extended benches here. So Sicily, Ward, Scrimshaw, Gunston, and Finn McGuinness named as ins, with Watson being managed as well as Jiceron going out. So interestingly, there Ethan Phillips holds, and we'll get another look at him this week to see if he can be a downgrade option for us in the coming weeks. On the Lions side, we've got Brandon Ryan, Henry Smith. These are generic creator team player names. I have not heard of these guys. They're both debutants, so that makes sense. Tunstall, Zach Bailey, and Dara Joyce. And then on the outs, we've got Hipwood and Shadow Brain. So it's a bit sad for old Shadow Brain that he's in and out.
Yep.
Anything that catches your eye? Obviously, Bruce holding on for another week is good for anyone that picked him up in the last couple of weeks. But yeah, anything else catches your eye looking at these sides?
Not really that I can see. No. I guess Zorko, good if you got him. I was going to go him last week, but went Fisher instead. So he absolutely cooked us like expected. But yeah, no, we'll see. Brisbane have the bye soon, don't they? So yeah, if you got Bruce good, Loman's bloody made a lot of money, so we missed on that one. But not much you can do there. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So then next up, we've got Nam against Euroke. Yeah, God, I can't pronounce the names. I'm sorry. So for the Ds, we've got Langdon, Jacob Van Rooyen, Hunter, Tomlinson, and Fullerton in for Lever and Brown. And then for the Saints, I've got Stocker, Burns, Higgins, and Ross. And Mateus Philippou has finally been dropped after what feels like the most lackluster second year from a very promising player. Yeah. So I'm glad that they've finally actually given him a chance to go back to the twos, because I think he probably needs it and probably needs to build some of his confidence before coming back into the ones, and getting smashed in that Saints side, not doing him any favors, I don't think. So looking at these sides, anything that stands out to you?
Can't see anything really. Not a thing. I think someone said Salem's pretty cheap because obviously he got injured way back when, and he's back playing at half back. I don't know if I'd touch it, but he's, I think, very, very cheap. So, look, for anyone struggling out there, you could go somewhere in that direction if you wanted. He's like $330K, so bit of a bailout pick, but other than that, I don't know. Hey, Darcy Wilson, how long do you think you'll hold on to him for?
So I'm definitely playing around with trading him out this week. I actually need to go have a look at trades because I haven't really done any of them this week. But obviously, he's a really good job security. He's been putting together some great scores. So he's the type of rookie that you'd love to have as depth through the buys. But at the same time, if it's my only way of getting to a premium, then I'm getting rid of him. Now, breaking news, we've got one late change for the Dogs game with Riley Sanders replacing James O'Donnell in the side.
Wow.
Riley Sanders is the sub for the Dogs and Roberts is the sub for the Swans. So if you are holding Matty Roberts, I think I'd be prioritising getting
he's
him
a sub. Shit.
Yeah. Yep. Crazy.
Sanders still can't get into 22. Poor bastard.
Nope. We'll see what happens.
Cool. And last game.
Last game, we got Kuwana against Wallettage Mara. No, I feel like I went 0 from 2 on those. So Borlase, Burgess, Schoenberg, Strawn, and Berry in for Himmelberg and Rankin, who's unfortunately out for the 3 weeks. And if you've been living under a rock and own him, I would probably be moving him on because he's now going to be with the bye missing 4 of the next 5. I think he will be a trading target for a lot of us. Like he looks like he's going to be a top 6 forward, especially with that midfield time. But yeah,
still those really good fixtures now as well. Hey,
yeah. The pros, it's pretty crazy. And I mean, I guess if you are looking for an upgrade target, and someone like a Dawson with Rankin going out, who was taking up some of the midfield time, becomes an even more attractive option. And then for the Eagles, Yo, Gaff, Clay Hall, and Harry Edwards in. Luke Edwards out. Clay Hall being named. I doubt he makes the final 22 or 23 here, but very interesting prospect. If Yo wasn't coming back in this week, I could actually see them be more of a chance of him actually getting a game. But one to keep an eye on. Oh, not owning Yo, painful now. I miss him already. But I don't think anything too relevant from either of those games, other than obviously the Rankin injury and Yo returning. But I can't imagine too many actually held him.
No. Oops, which one are we on this one? Yeah, I mean, I'll just look at trades, I guess. There's not...
What did I have? Do some trades.
I think I had it as, I'll refresh it. Bring mine up. My team's just total dog water. It was already going badly, and then pretending to be smart by getting rid of Rowan and just rolling with Sweet R2 has just been a monumental backfire. Rowan decides to pop 2 160s back to back. I did believe in him. I didn't really, I did believe in him, but doing what he did with a 50 and a 60 and shit, just not acceptable. And then he turns it around and goes bang.
Did you see my tweet?
Right at that timing, like.
Yeah. Did you see my tweet?
I've been avoiding all Supercoach.
Okay.
So
what I that's fine. What I did was I went and looked at my R2 position since the start of the year and looked at basically like what I'd done. And so I've used 3 trades in the R2 position, from Grundy to Marshall to Sweet to English. And I've pulled an 86 average in that position. All 3 of those rucks individually are averaging like 110. Like this
makes no sense.
Falling out of a boat and missing water type territory here. And I was trading them into the strong matchups as well. So I feel like, there's definitely a lesson in there, and like holding and sticking with some of your primos and leaving those upgrades for last. But at the same time, I feel like I've really low rolled on some of the performances from them so far as well.
Damn, look at my bench. Holy shit. Hugo's not back. I didn't realize that at the time when we were looking at the teams. So
Hugo's not back. Yep.
Kirch what's the update on Kirch?
Kirch, he's missing this week. He'll hopefully be back after the bye. There was some talk that he still wasn't running this week, as he still had some pain. So I'm actually worried that he won't return after the bye either. But I think I've got enough other issues that I'll probably just hold and wait and see, than do anything about it now.
Yep. What was I doing? So I got a bit of money, so I can get a rookie this week and then use the rest to upgrade someone. What do you reckon about the doggies kid? I didn't watch him.
Fraser. I also didn't watch him. So I've seen a little bit of him. So yeah, I think you're in the same boat as me, where it's him or Richards. I guess you could also consider Kane as well. A lot of people don't like Richards because of the forward sets, but I think he's looked really lively, to be honest.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was doing
yeah.
something like this. Get a primo, maybe Merritt.
Yep.
Playing us this week.
Yeah. That makes it one way to make that game a little bit more palatable for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that works.
I'll play around with the primo. Maybe I'll go someone cheaper, keep a bit more money. But
so does it mean you're holding Wilson this week?
Yeah. I've just royally butchered my team, so yeah, I'm happy to hold him. Still got Tom Powell as well. Got Fisher last week, so I did him, so I could. Yeah, it's honestly, G's team would be a lot worse without it. And then Closey, what's his break even? 31, so he can stay for a bit.
He's got one more week, I think, and then he's probably someone you can move on. I'm a bit worried just because it's against the Blues this week.
All right,
pretty nicey. Oh yeah, so this is my side. I've done one trade so far. I got 400k in the bank. So the trade is Wilson to Richards, but yeah, it could be Fraser, and then I've got to figure out what the other one is here. And I think at this rate, it's probably Graham out, which means I've got 660k here. Wouldn't be able to get in Sarong, right? He's a bit more expensive than that.
Yeah, he is. Well, 677.
Well, this is going very slow. So I think then my two options come down to Houston or Rao for the week. Houston's got that nice bye and a pretty friendly matchup this week, I would suggest, in North. And I also probably could use the extra defender with Reed and McKercher then going to the bench. Alternatively, Rao is priced, I think, below 110 now, but averaging about 120 for the year. So probably some good value in that, but the Carlton matchup isn't the best. So I think for my team, it probably makes sense to go Graham this week to Houston and then look at getting Rao next week, seeing how he goes this one. This is so bugged. There we go.
Yeah, well.
I wonder if it's just going slow because everyone else is on at the same time. Yeah. I mean, like Fife's losing money. I think I've just got to hope that he gets a spike game in at some point.
Yep.
And then I guess, one reason for me to go Richards over Fraser is just so I can loop Darcy with Richards this week, where the two doggies together, I wouldn't be able to loop them.
Yeah.
Holy slow.
Maybe try to reset it. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So that leaves, Closey is my only rookie on in defense. In the midfield, I've still got Dempsey and Kane, and I hope, can I loop those? Let's have a look. Depends on when the Saints are playing. Yeah, so I can loop. I could probably do Dempsey first and then decide on Kane or something like that. Or I could even loop Fife, but I've got to back him in to beat the rookie, surely. And then in the forward line, I can loop Darcy and Richards here, and that should be decent.
Yep.
And then vice captain for me, I've currently got Merritt into Zorko, which feels pretty high risk, high reward. I don't hate Dacos as a vice captain, but obviously there's been some chatter today that he will be tagged. That's what Longman's saying. They'll put some attention into him. So whether that's a Young or an Ace, or they look at a Matty Johnson, not really sure what they'll do there. I'm not sure who the best matchup is that they've got for him.
Not sure if he can. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely things you can do. We've seen it in the past, but just how they deploy that will be interesting. I think Butters against North's obviously like
that's what I've got.
Consideration. Yeah. Don't hate that one. And then Sarong against the Pie. So they're probably the ones I'm weighing up. I know Marshall's been giving up big scores to Rucks, but I captained Gorn last week thinking the same thing with his matchup, and that didn't pan out. So I'm probably off Gorn this week. I think I lost the trust a little bit.
Yeah.
Dawson against West Coast, like even with ranking out, I probably don't love that just because Yo's back, and I think that makes him more competitive in the midfield.
And you got to captain him, not VC is probably what I
prefer. Exactly. I mean, I'm still pretty worried about Zorko as a C option, if I'm being honest here. I'm not sure I really love that. So I could see myself still going like a Butters into Merritt.
That's what I got, so we'll see.
Yeah. Otherwise, like Martin, I guess, is a left field one against the Tigers as a vice captain option if you like.
Yeah, true.
Someone
after him as a 45 with these.
Yeah, but I feel like the captain options aren't great this week. So I feel like if you see a 120, 125 plus, if you're vice captain, you probably just lock that in and be pretty content with it.
Yep. Do you have gold? Someone just wants to look at the most traded in and out.
Oh yeah.
Oscar did.
That's my team. So let's have a
just
look
go players tab. Sort of look on the right, I guess.
Oh right. Oh yes. Sorry, you can. Most popular trades. Yep, all coaches. So Darcy Jones, Wilson, Windsor, Garcia as the rookies out. Bit of Graham here, and then some combination of Richardson, Fraser. He's the most popular trade. So I mean, this is going to go so slow.
Yeah, okay. I can try it on mine.
Is it quick for you? Is it just me?
I don't know. Yeah, no, it might just be you.
Jones.
Wilson's second most traded out. Interestingly, Graham.
I think it makes sense. I mean, he's a rookie that's priced at $420K now.
It does,
even in the 70s, right? People are trying to squeeze out their last upgrades, and a lot of them probably don't have as many dead rookies as I do. So yeah, but yeah, Darcy Jones I think makes sense. Graham makes sense. Windsor I feel like he's in the same boat. Wouldn't trade.
Yeah, I think he could be nice as like just a season hold.
It probably depends on how good your team is, right? Because I've got Wilson and Graham to trade out as well, and like Closey's in there as well, and then I've also got McKercher and 5, so I'm gonna have to be forced to hold some of them.
Yeah.
All right, let's have a look at the ins. Who have been the? 10%.
That not really.
Yeah.
Okay. Richards over Fraser.
Yep. Richards over Fraser. I mean, I must say, I'm still doubting the Dogs and their run. I can see them losing their next 4 games, if we're being honest. I think it's like Swans, Pies, Lions, and Freo, I think, are their next 4. I could see them going 0-4, and I just worry about rookies when you're looking at 4 losses.
Yeah, okay.
Like that. I mean, they could surprise the upside, don't get me wrong, but I do worry about that a little bit. Okay, and then you got Sexton, Houston. I mean, Houston kind of mentioned like his probably bottomed out and has a nice matchup and a nice buy. Zorko, I feel like it's really hard to pay $620 for him if you don't own him. I feel like it's a bit like Fisher. Like, are you really going to pay $443 for Fisher?
Yeah, Fisher was just like a free get and see how he goes. You make money and.
I mean, this is the craziest thing, right? I jumped on both of those last week. They went up 110K combined, put up ridiculous scores, and I still lost ranks. Like, how bad am I traveling far out? Luke Jackson's kind of interesting. He obviously had a good score last week, but now Darcy's back in.
I think we can get him later.
And then Rail I like as an option as well. Yeah, okay.
Heaney still. That's so funny. Ethan Phillips, well, he's not playing, is he? So people have to... Or is he?
No, Ethan Phillips is playing. No, he was named on field.
On field? Okay, cool. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I'll just go double check that in case I'm misinforming.
I could do him too. Yeah, I don't know what rookie to get.
So that's the misinformation guy.
That's my decision.
Sorry, he is on the bench, but he's named as first on the interchange.
So I have to wait and see.
Yeah, you have to wait. Yeah, but he's only played 1 game anyway, right? So it's someone I'm looking at next week, not this week.
Yep. Fair enough.
All right. Is there any pressing questions we've got from our loyal chatters that we should answer?
We'll get some on. What do you think of Ed Richards to risk you with Liverback soon? He's still scoring well, isn't he?
So I mean, I think Bevo's crazy enough just to keep him in the midfield anyway. So I actually don't think the chance of him losing his role is that big. But when Libba was in the side, I don't think he was scoring as well as a mid. So I'm probably avoiding, and like that fixture, as I kind of mentioned, was tough. So I'm probably off Richards as an option. I think we're getting to that time of year where you want less of these speculative picks and more of the guys that really have that top 6, top 3 kind of scoring in them. So probably a no for Richards for mine.
Thoughts on holding Wilson over 5, JD, since you're in that posse?
Do I have the money to do that? Because I should have held Reed over 5 last week, right?
Oh my god, yeah.
No, I think I'll just keep backing 5 in. 5's got the good buy as well, which I like. So if I end up losing a bunch of money, but he just gives good cover through the buys, whatever.
Sanders an option if he gets back in the side. Oh, he'd have to be a lot would have to change, and it almost would be we'd have to get a few weeks of data, him playing really well to even be confident that he'll keep that spot. And then by then he's probably 400k. I just don't think he'll be an option for the rest of the year, judging by what's been going on. It's a weird one. I just don't know what's going to go on there. He's still like he's barely in the side tonight, just a sub because of a laid out. Like I don't know, and what Libba's still out, right? Is he? So yeah.
I mean, we've seen how stubborn Bevo is. It just feels like he's making a point when he does this stuff. So yeah. Anyway,
getting Sexton this week. Yeah. Well, we just looked. He's like the third most traded in. For 270k. That's such a hard one because, I mean, I know he didn't score the greatest early on, and it was a bit frustrating. But the role he's playing right now is what we envisaged it to be. 270k, far out. You'd almost, I think it's. Can he make another? He could get the 400 probably.
I mean, what he's got basically, he's going to be in your side until they're buying round 13 or 14.
And he's got forward
round
status.
13, round 14, and then it's round 14, and so he's got 3-4 more weeks, and then Willpower comes back, I think, after his bye. So, and that probably pushes him out, or at least dulls his scoring. So how much money can he realistically make in that time? I think he could potentially make another 100k, but it just comes down to like, can you do anything else this week? So I'd rather do one up, one down, get a proper premium. If you can't get a premium this week and you're looking at doubling down, I'd probably rather get a Sexton over one of Fraser or Richards, just because you get the on-field points during buys, as well as that cash gen as well. Job security should be okay over that month period. So I think there's a world where like you could get Sexton and Supercoach for formats like fantasy. He's probably coming in for me this week. Probably same with Bolter, but Supercoach is just a little bit trickier for me to fit that in.
We didn't speak about Swallow, so it's hard, but he's only 188k.
Yeah.
And he, a couple of sub scores in there. That's why he's that low. Just came off a 98, 188k forward mid. What do you think?
Did he also play halfback? Is that what happened with him?
I'd have to check.
So what do you think of Swallow while I quickly look at DFS to see if I can spot a heat map?
I'd be happy picking him for you. It would be if he's spot safe in the side, but we've already seen him be sub like 3 times, so it's a bit tough.
Yeah.
But no, I'd be more than happy to pick him. It's just the job security I'd be worried about.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's a bit of a Mr. Fix-It as well. So I do worry that they will move him around as they require, rather than him getting a locked-in position, even if he plays well.
Yeah. Not often you get a player that bloody age or experience at that price. So it is crazy. It's something to think about. I don't think I can afford it with my trades anyway. Unless I get someone cheaper than Merritt.
I mean, have you got Rao?
Yeah, I think if I got Rao, I could get him. But I've already got Noah. I don't know if I'd do it. Already have to endure Noah week in, week out, wondering if he's scoring 70 or 140.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess if you collect the Suns trio, then you're probably always getting a good score each week.
Yep. Lads, thoughts on being aggressive, trading out Meek allows me to start sweet and get an extra primo this week. I feel he's taking advantage of an easy run. What is Meek's run? Big O this week, who's usually one of the tougher. Rob, pretty good for hit outs.
When's the Hawks bye?
11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So it is pretty late. So you could.
Yeah. I think I'd probably hold then.
I think I'd probably hold on, yeah.
And look to do that move during the buys. I don't think fielding sweet is that great of an option.
He's got Cherry. Cherry's been pretty good this year, obviously. Then who do Port have?
I think there's also a risk as well that if Sweet doesn't play well this week, that they do something with Vicentini or something again. So,
yeah. Well, Soldo's only 2 weeks away, right? Something.
Yeah, I'm probably not. Yeah, Soldo might be back after their bye. So I'm probably not a massive fan of putting Sweet back into position. Although Meek's next to a Brisbane and Adelaide, and they're both tougher matchups.
Yeah,
but then
they're
you got
good tap
GWS,
rocks.
which is Briggs, and then Nankervis after that, which aren't too bad. So I think I'd just hold Meek and then swap him out after he's round 15 bye. And I think that's when, like, I don't know, if you don't have a Gorn, he's coming off his bye. I think that's when the Saints bye is as well. So,
Yep.
Sweet
might get, because I did see Pitto's out. I don't know what with, but or how long it is, but they got Carlton next week, Port. So Sweet might get just a TDK matchup, which might be all right just before the bye. So I don't know. I don't know what the injury is.
I think he had something happen to his hand. We're getting some Jai Caldwell questions, I can see.
Here we go. I think there was one further up. Just, this guy loves him. Get my team. Jai Caldwell, question mark. All right, JD, go on.
I don't really see it.
I know George loved him. I was thinking about him.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, he still didn't get that many CBAs, right? He's still playing majority half forward. But the thing I was looking for was what we were going to do with some of our mids this week. And you've got Shield out and Sardis out, who are, I mean, Shield's probably, he played sub, but would have been one of the ones who were competing for CBA. So I don't know, you could, and especially if you get like a Hobbs as the sub this week as well. So yeah, I think you could do it. There's definitely worse options. I'm probably looking at him in Bolter this week to bring him in. But it's also an easy format to sideways trade players back out during the bye, so you can take on a little bit more risk quite safely. The last, month, we've seen Stringer getting quite high CBAs. Merritt's not really giving any up, so it's a tricky one. Really, he's like 5th in line, at least for starting CBAs, and then pushes up to the ball.
Yep. Let's see if we can work this one out. Graham to Fraser, Fife is F6. Graham to Richards, Richards is F6. Or Wilson to Sexton. I guess you've obviously got some other trade locked in that you want to do.
Option 1 and 2 is a question we've been asked over and over again, which is, would you rather have Fraser or Richards? And I'm probably Richards over Fraser for my side.
Yep.
And then the last question is, instead of doing those, I could actually go Wilson to Sexton. So I think I'd rather have Wilson and Richards than Graham and Sexton, which is effectively the question for mine. So I think Graham to Richards is how I would lean on that one.
Yep. Charlie Dean, I don't know if he could be nice over the bias. We don't know if he stays in the team. If I knew he was, obviously, I'd probably consider him this week. But we just don't know. Sarong into Dunks. Yeah, sounds all right. Yep, there's a few decent options this week. I don't know if I'd see Dunks, but that's up to you. Best 2 rookies. Yeah, I mean, I think it's out of Fraser and Rich. I don't know if I'd touch Kane. It's a tough one.
I've heard some big Kane pop-ups. So, I mean, I'm looking at this in Bolter and even fantasy, whether I go a Kane McAuliffe over a Fraser type.
Hey.
The kid's getting some love, I'll tell you that. What's your injury list? Who have you got returning soon? Because I'm pretty worried, to be honest, as a bolted on existing owner.
Not too much of a
I'm not
decision
optimistic
to be made, but Hopper 1 to 2, Tim 2 to 3.
He's not surviving that, right? Like, doesn't that just
Graham 1 more week? I don't think. I mean, there's a few others that can be dropped ahead of him, but I don't think so. I'd love him to just play him, but you got to play those other guys in their back.
I mean, and Dow's still ahead of him. Prestia isn't going to get dropped for him. Bolton needs midfield time. Baker's been getting midfield time. So, okay, no Kane. I think no Kane is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Would you get Sexton or not? Damn. We did talk about it, but it's just such a hard call at this point. He's already made another 100K. Can he make another 100? Probably, but is it worth it for 3 weeks before the bye? He probably is out when Powell's back, I would assume. So it's not one that you're going to miss out on and totally cook a year. So I'd probably say no at this point. It was last week or the week before, and maybe this week's 1 week too late. Trade out Garcia, Rogers, or Clark. Probably Clark at this point if you can still get what you need done. There's slight hope Hugo could get back in. Rogers is back in if you didn't see Mr. Pink, so I'd probably wouldn't be trading him. So, yeah, probably Clark. That's got to be Houston. For me, Ed Richards or Houston. Talk us through your McKercher think. I'm hearing a lot of reports that might be out for longer. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a doctor, wouldn't pretend to know. I'll probably just wait till after his bye. Hope he's back. Because we saw that he was scoring, in his role that he was playing earlier on. So, yeah, we'll see. I'll just play it by ear. If we get to a point in a couple of weeks where he's still not back, and you need to make an upgrade or something, and he's the one to do it, then maybe make that call then. We worried about a shield tag on Butters. I guess so.
It's possible.
He did tag last week, so
I mean that's why
VC.
Yeah.
But maybe our VC's wrong instead. Yeah, no, definitely a possible thing. Bont or Heaney VC if you want to go tonight. Huh. Probably Heaney, to be honest. That could kick a few goals. I don't know. I'll probably go someone else, but maybe Isaac.
If you don't have any other options, I think you could do worse than Heaney, but I'd probably still rather go with like a Dacos tomorrow or a Butters, even with the
Butters. Yeah.
potential threat of a tag, and just risk one of those and then pop into a safe captain. Do you think House plays? That's a good question because he is on the extended bench. I don't think he's dropped for a Tomlinson type because they just lost Lever, right? So I think Tomlinson comes in for Lever. House holds. He's been, I think, good enough to play. Now, I've got to jump in a second, Eno, because I think the kids are on their way home.
Yep.
So any last questions?
Last question. Yep.
Yeah, let's do it.
Eno, who do you think will finish higher ranked, George or JD? No fence sitting. Well, to be honest, I don't even know what their teams look like, so let me have a look.
I think the easy answer is George. I think
George 2.5K. Yeah.
I don't even know why my team's bad. That's
He's
the
got
worst
more.
part.
You have Zorko. He doesn't. You've got. He's got Dylan Moore. Let's have a look.
Yeah, well, I bet he wishes he had Liam Baker right now.
Yeah, true. I forgot. Crouch, Rao. You got Clary. You got Fishy. You got Ryan. Did George? Oh yeah, George forced Ryan. Oh, did he? Or was he getting him this week?
Oh no, I think he got Ryan last week.
He's not in his team.
Oh, isn't he? I thought he got him. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how George is like putting 100 on my head each week. Can you tell me what he's got? I guess he's got Sarong, and I don't have Sarong.
Yeah, he's got Sarong.
Oh, he's got Meek, doesn't he? Instead of
he did he went to English.
Oh, okay. Bro, how am I so bad at this game?
You can get him. Let's say JD. Fuck George.
Whoa.
Sorry, demonetization.
Yeah, demonetization.
I can tell you who it's not. Me. I know that wasn't in that question, but I can tell you it won't be me.
I think they were saving you the pain of answering that one.
Yep. We also knew that 8 weeks ago, so that's totally fine. All right.
Is Adam Treloar getting tagged by James Jordan? I think there's a chance that's the case. I don't think tagging Bond works. Yeah. So Treloar would be interesting. Or even like a Richards type, because they've brought him in there to create a bit. I could see them doing something fun like that. The other option would be if they send Jordan to Dale. Yeah. Because with Johansson out, there's like no other creator.
Yeah, Clifford's right. Back. Jordan to Bont would be hilarious. You can't. He's too small.
Yeah. I don't, like, can you imagine Jordan trying to stop one of those marks on the ground?
That's why he goes to Walsh instead of Cripps. That's why he goes
I'll listen to one other stat today as well, which is that the last 4 times Bont's been tagged, the dogs have won 3 of those 4. So it actually hasn't been too effective in stopping what makes the dogs good. And I think that's where we saw like Libba being tagged in the past.
Yeah, the team's been on Libba more recently, last couple of years.
Yeah, but I think with Libba being out, I'd go if I'm the Swans. I'd
Treloar or Dale.
yeah, Treloar or Dale. Yeah, that's it. Take some of the speed out or creativity, and they don't really have much beyond that.
Yeah.
With the risk of a tag on Treloar, is the vice captain too risky? I think it's risky vice captaining anyone into the Swans. Just
only Treloar's interesting, but hey, he has been kind of cooking.
He's been very good this year. Yeah, it's been a bit like Libra of last year, where he's just been like under the radar good.
Yeah, shit, he's 630k. All right, I don't know what's going on this year, but
hey, dogs. What can I say?
All right, catch you later.
Peace, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week as always.